And Rob Halford, we are Judas Priest. And this is TVK, Masa Ito's Rock City, Loud Park, 2009. Yeah.
さあお待ちどうさまでした。ジュダス・プリーストの KK ダウニング、ロバ・ハルフォード、グレン・ティプトのインタビューをご紹介しましょう。現在ですね、ポップ・イーブル、ホワイトスネークをサポートに迎えてブリティス・ティール完全再現ツアーを行っているジュダス・プリースト、いよいよラウドパークでやってまいります。ブリティス・ティールっていうアルバムはジュダス・プリーストにとってのみならず、我々が愛するヘビーメタルシーンにとってもとても重要なアルバムなんですが、今夜はこの3人に改めてブリティッシュ・スティールというね作品について語っていただいております。さあどんなことを語ってくれるのか、サンディエゴ公演の前にホテルでインタビューしてまいりました。今週と来週2週間にわたってお届けするプリーストインタビュー、お楽しみに。さあそれではこちらのインタビューご覧ください。
We just do what, you know, we're making the records, and I think that if you do listen to every one of the Judas Priest releases, we've always been very proud that each record has its own life, each record has its own character. We've always been very determined not to repeat ourselves. We've always wanted to make each record special and unique, and I think that's what happened with British Steel, but I don't think any of us understood that it would become this great, really very important metal record in the history of the heavy metal scene. So that's a bonus, you know, that's a good feeling.
Yeah, I mean, people have often said to us, you know, one of the best compliments played to Judas Priest is that people tell us our music's timeless. And I'd love to pat ourselves on the back and say that we wrote the songs intending that to be, but it's not the case. We used to, just as we do now with Nostradamus and everything, we just get together and we write. And we are very fortunate, we've said before to you, Masa, that we've got a great writing chemistry. We all gather our inspiration from different areas, quite diverse areas, but when we get together, they're pulled and they come out as Judas Priest, and it just works. And you know, there's a lot of great musicians that are unfortunate to have that writing chemistry that we've got in the band. And that's just what we did with British Steel. We just got together and we wrote and did what came naturally. And you know, some of them turn out to be Priest classics, and it's just the way it works, really.
Oh, it's the same question, Kicker.
Yeah, well, like I say, I can't exactly remember when, you know, bands started to be called heavy metal bands, you know. I mean, I can remember that you said there were metal bands before British Steel, but maybe my recollection was a lot of the bands were classed as rock or progressive rock or heavy rock, you know, but what we're looking at here, even we sit here in San Diego, we see some of the decor here. This is what we're talking about, British Steel heavy metal. That's when all...
Judas Priest house, right?
I mean, there was obviously some of this, obviously, with the album Killer Machine, or was known as Hellbent for Leather in the States, but, you know, Priest was, you know, we were getting there, but as I said before, everything seemed to come together on the album British Steel as a complete package, as an entity. And certainly for Priest, from that point on, we went to get, you know, at a rate and knots. We knew who we were, what we were, and what we wanted to achieve with the music. So that point in 1980 really was the kickstart, certainly for Priest, and that's why we're still here now, because it was to be. Heavy metal was to be.
Well, we're going to play it this year, Masa, so we don't need to say anything. Come along and you'll get the vibe, you know. That's really, you know, one of the reasons we are coming back to Japan, because we want to play the British Steel tour there. Plus, we love to be in Japan anyway, so, you know, that was our main decision to go back, and so the Japanese fans could hear British Steel perform in its entirety, which this is the first time we've ever done that with any album.
It's very difficult for us to remember what happened yesterday, let alone 30 years ago. But I think it's like any tour that you start with a new record. It's exciting. You can't wait to get in front of your fans and say, hey, check this out, this is our new record, these are our new songs. And of course by then we were playing songs from Sad Wings of Destiny, from Sin After Sin, from Stained Class, from Killing Machine, as well as British Steel, you know. So it was a great set list at that time. Yeah, we did the UK tour, we did obviously, and some American shows, some European dates. But as Glenn points out, this will be great for the Japanese fans. All the Japanese fans that have been waiting for this experience. Sorry we made you wait for 30 years. But it'll be great. So you must come see us when we make the shows in Japan in October.
We're obviously proud in Priest that, you know, if we've helped to inspire young musicians along the way, young guitar players, young singers, drummers, anything, you know, it's something we're very proud of. And, you know, in our own way, we've helped to shape the direction that metal's gone. But along the way, if we've inspired musicians to take up instruments and play them, it's something we're very proud of, and always will be, really. You know, what better thing can you do with your life than help somebody along the way to start to play an instrument? And if we've done that, then I know we all feel very proud over it, that you know, we've had an influence on the younger generation and helped to shape the way that metal's gone.
How about you, Sam?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's such a reward just to be doing and what we're doing now, and still be together as we are as Judas Priest, going out and playing these fantastic shows. Well, like I say, I mean, there could be no better reward for all of us than for young musicians to say that you were my inspiration. You know, whatever it was, whether it was a record we made or a show that they saw, or whether it's just our music style in general. But definitely, as later on in years to come, when we're no longer doing what we do now, I mean, and when we look back, you know, it will be a fantastic thing. I can say that because obviously we were all inspired, you know, I'm sure by other musicians at the time when we were just youngsters. And you know, and who would have thought that we would have been here now in the same position as the people that we looked up to so much, that gave us the inspiration to start to play.
It's always fantastic for us to go back to Japan. You know, we were made so welcome there right from the first visit. I mean, it was just took us by surprise, and how well we were received, how popular we were, actually how many people showed up at the shows, and how overwhelming, you know, the audience reaction was. And we fell in love with Japan straight away. It just became one of our favourite places to play in the world. You know, we didn't know what to expect. It was just amazing. And so we're always happy to come back to Japan. As you know, we weren't there that long ago, and we're coming back now to do British Steel. And it's because we love to play there. We've never done festivals before there, so this is a whole new thing for us as well. But we know that the audience are just going to be loyal, faithful. They're going to sing along with us, as they always do, and we're going to play our hearts out for them, you know, because it means a lot to us to play in Japan.
Yeah, and the cool thing about festivals, Massey, is that you're with other bands that you've probably crossed paths with before. I know on the same day that we play, Megadeth is going to be there. And of course, we just did a very successful UK and European tour with Megadeth and Testament. Steel Panther's going to be there. I'm quite interested to check that band out live. They're the Spinal Tap of now, and they're great players as well. And Arch Enemy, I've seen that band play before. So for metalheads, for the Japanese metalheads, it's going to be a real exciting event to see all of these bands, and then Judas Priest to finish the show. The headlining act is going to be a real special event only for the Japanese metalheads. So we're looking forward to coming over and, as Glenn said, sharing British Steel and just having a great metal night together.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a real treat for us to know that we can go to Japan and obviously play in the festival, so there's going to be lots and lots of people there. But to bring the British Steel show is going to be fantastic. And I think, as we mentioned before, for all the people that didn't get to see it on the first time around, I think you'll see something that's very, very comparable to what was happening 30 years ago. We were a little younger then, admittedly, but you know, if you're a few rows back, it's going to be exactly the same. So we're really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it, and wouldn't miss it for a while. What can I say? We'll be there soon in October.